Hello viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on this channel. In previous videos, I have talked about the different places I visited in London. In this video, I'll talk about the different lessons I learned in London regarding the things one should definitely not do when in London. So let's get into it. The first thing one should definitely not do when in London is get confused regarding what is meant by the United Kingdom. The United Kingdom consists of 4 different countries: England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. This part here is not part of the United Kingdom. This is the Republic of Ireland, and Republic of Ireland in Dublin does have a Royal College of Surgeons. So if your MRCS exam is in Dublin, then you have to go to Ireland, which is not a part of the United Kingdom. However, to make matters more confusing, if you are traveling from India, a UK visa does allow you to enter Ireland, but you have to enter UK first. What is UK? UK is a collection of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. England, Scotland, Wales together form Britain. Britain plus Northern Ireland, United Kingdom. Republic of Ireland, own independent country. Pretty confusing, I know. Another thing that you cannot forget, which many people do forget, even people working in banks in India, is which currency is used in the United Kingdom. Suppose you are trying to get a forex card and you want to load it with the currency used in the UK. The bank official might think, okay, so the UK is a part of Europe and most countries in Europe use euro. So they may load up your forex card with euro. That is a recipe for disaster. United Kingdom never used euro even in the pre-Brexit era. The only currency used in the United Kingdom is the GBP or the Great British Pound. Not the American dollar, not the euro, GBP or Great British Pound. Please don't forget this. Now that you're aware of the fact that the British pound is used in the UK and you have a wallet full of currency notes of the British pound, you look at this beautiful bus. You feel like boarding this bus and paying for it using those British pound currency notes that you have in your wallet. You will be in for a surprise because you can't pay for bus rides using cash. The only way to pay for bus rides is either an Oyster card or a contactless debit or credit card. Basically a bank card with the Wi-Fi symbol on it. Once you enter the bus, you will see a designated spot right next to the bus driver's seat. You have to touch your card on this spot. This is called tapping in. You don't have to tap out or touch again when you are disembarking from the bus. Just tap in when entering and that is going to be enough. So, useful tip, you can't pay for bus rides using cash. Okay, so you have figured out that you can board buses with the help of contactless bank cards or Oyster cards. You then happen to look at this beautiful bus with its top open, people on this bus having a gala time, and you want to board this bus from a bus stop. You can't. This is not a normal bus. This is a hop on, hop off bus. Basically, this is a tourist bus and this needs to be pre-booked. Maybe you have to pay somewhere between 35 to 45 pounds to book a ride on this bus. And this bus will take you on a predetermined route covering all the famous tourist attractions in London. But you can't board this from a bus stop. You have to pre-book this ride from the official website of one of these hop-on, hop-off tourist bus companies. You can find a number of them online. Go on their website, book that ride, and only then you can take a ride on these tourist buses. Okay, you have figured out that these are tourist buses and you have compared the rides on a normal double-decker red bus and a tourist bus, and you have noticed that a bus ride on a double-decker bus costs about 1.5 pounds and a similar journey on this bus might cost you about 45 pounds. So you decide, no, I don't want to be labeled a tourist. I don't want to board a hop-on, hop-off bus. This may be a bad idea for you if you have issues walking, maybe you have trouble walking, maybe you are slightly old, maybe you want to cover a long distance without having to worry about how to go from A to B. This is a good option. You can book this bus and it covers almost all of the major tourist attractions in London. It also has helpful commentary in various languages on headphones. So this is not a terrible option. I personally did not take this option, but for many tourists, hop on hop off bus does make sense, and as the name suggests, you can hop on it and hop off it as you please. But of course you have to book the ride from the website, and maybe it will cost you somewhere between 35 to 45 pounds. Again, if you are a tourist, this kind of bus is definitely worth considering based on your own individual situations. Another thing that many people forget is that London is a very big city. If you want to cover many parts of London, many tourist attractions, it is a good idea to club those tourist attractions into North London, East London, West London, South London and Central London. Most of the famous tourist attractions are in Central London. Maybe all of them cannot be covered in a single day, so devote more than one day for Central London and one day each for North, East, West and South London. Now we will talk about some tube rules. This symbol here, a red circle with a blue horizontal line, denotes a tube station. This is the Temple tube station, and we will now discuss some rules regarding tube transport that I learned during my stay in London. The first rule that I learned is a rule that you will be constantly reminded on the PA system. This rule is mind the gap. It is very important to mind the gap because sometimes the gap is certainly quite wide between the platform and the train. If you don't pay attention to this gap, there can be fatal consequences. So very important, mind the gap. Number 2, as I explained in the bus rides where you only have to tap in when using a bus in London, a double-decker bus in London, when you're using the tube station, you should tap in when entering the first station and you should tap out when leaving the final station. Again, tap in means touching the card at the designated spot, and tap out means the same thing, touching the card at a designated spot when you are leaving the final station. In some countries, it is considered almost a badge of honor to use a train to go from A to B without having to pay for it. In London, there is no way to do that. If you forget to tap in or tap out at any particular station where you are supposed to tap in or tap out, then you will be charged the maximum possible fare for that journey, which otherwise would have cost you maybe 1/10 the amount. So please don't forget to tap in when entering the first station and tap out when leaving the final station on your tube journey. Another thing that is worth remembering is Oyster cards are not accepted as mode of payment on all trains in London. This is something that I learned the hard way when I was traveling using the Stansted Express train from Tottenham Hale Station to Stansted Airport. This particular train requires its own ticket, which I had to buy from the ticket counter. Oyster cards are not acceptable in every train in London. The last thing that I have to say about Oyster cards is it is very important to not have more than 10 British pounds of unused balance on the Oyster card, because if you want a refund of more than 10 pounds, you will have to go through a bureaucratic nightmare. I've been waiting for a refund of 75 pounds since October 15th, 2023. It's a good idea to have unused balance of less than 10 British pounds because then you can get it from the kiosk in most tube stations. If it is more than 10 pounds, good luck. Good luck getting that money. I'm still waiting. A very interesting thing about tube stations is the escalator. If you want to stand on the escalator, stand stationary on the escalator, you are expected to stand on the right. And if you want to walk up or down the escalator, the left side is for you. If you want to be stationary on the escalator, right. If you want to walk up or down, left. You'll be surprised that almost everyone in London obeys this rule. A very sad but inescapable reality is that if you have a morbid fear of escalators, maybe traveling by the tube is not your cup of tea. Most tube stations rely heavily on the use of escalators for ingress and egress from the platform level. If you don't know how to use the escalator, or you're scared of it, or there are some issues that are preventing you from using escalators, then maybe avoid using the tube. Many tube stations are quote-unquote wheelchair friendly, but it's not universal, and often it becomes very difficult using the tube if you are scared of escalators or you have trouble using the escalator due to some other issues. The last thing that I want to tell my viewers from India is, if you are in London, please do not miss the Crown Jewel store in the Tower of London. If you are in London and you can visit only one place, visit the Tower of London, and in the Tower of London, please visit the Crown Jewel store, because on this store you get to see the Kohinoor diamond from really close. Photography unfortunately is not allowed on the Crown Jewel store. I would have clicked many photographs of the Kohinoor diamond, but even though I don't have a photograph to share with you, it was an amazing experience, and an experience that you cannot forget, because you get to see the Kohinoor diamond from as close as is humanly possible. So please don't miss out on the Crown Jewel store in the Tower of London if you are from India. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video proved to be helpful, and I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you have any questions, if you found any mistakes, please feel free to mention it in the comment section below, and take care. I hope I'll get to see you in the next video very soon.